It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
What is going on, Lions Nation Unite fans? And we are here to talk some Detroit Lions. Getting really close to NFL training camp, and I'm telling you, as a content creator, it is absolutely good to be at training camp instead of not. Why is that? You actually got things that legitimately are taking place, and it's really good for the fandom to finally see that football, the gridiron, taking place. Seeing the new faces whom the Lions picked up in free agency in the NFL draft, kicking it off and squaring away this team to take us from a close team that's going to hit the playoffs to the NFC North champion. So I am really ecstatic. Going to be at training camp. Make sure you guys are there as well. We'll be with Everything King, be a dose of Dion, Speak Easy, baby. Maybe my guy Adam, and much, much more. You get to meet the players, get to hang out, talk to these guys. Make sure you show up. It's really good. Also, during that week that I'm at training camp, I'll be in studio with Herm, where we're breaking it down, what's taking place at training camp from my perspective and him as a former player, all-time great wide receiver. So 9 drinks in the building. What's up, my guy? We got Detroit Lions prods as well. Ecstatic right now that you're on at this time. I'm trying it out. My kids are here, wanted to hang out. It's like, you know what? Let's try this again. Last week, it was really good. We'll see if it's going to be good this week as well. I don't want to interrupt Woodward Sports and what they're doing. I love what they're doing. I got nothing but love and respect for them. So I try to go at a different time so y'all can get your fix in 24/7 without interruptions between both of the channels. What's going on, Go Blue? We're talking Detroit Lions. So a lot of came out over this past weekend with the Lions. Good news on Hendon Hooker. Looked like he should be good to go for training camp there. Our rookie quarterback. Everything is ahead of schedule. That's fantastic for Detroit Lions. And it'll be really fun to see how he progresses at training camp, how he throws the football. I know that's going to be one player I'm definitely watching, is how he throws the football. Last year, we had Tim Boyle. It was really awful. This year, we got Hendon Hooker. It should be better for sure. Lions prod, David Barnett. Will definitely get to the questions in a couple of minutes. You've seen articles going everywhere that the Lions should trade for Aaron Donald. The Lions should trade for Cooper Kupp. That's the recent players that are getting thrown out there for the Detroit Lions. You know, what's interesting about this is instant you say there's no way that's not going to happen. But I read a report today and multiple very well done channels and articles that don't BS, saying that the Rams tried trading Matthew Stafford to the Atlanta Falcons because they did not want to be hooked up with his roster bonus. If that's the case, if they were willing to part ways with them, they may be trying to do a complete tear down, try to go for a quarterback in the draft in 2024. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. None of that. But it's not out the realm of possibility that they could deal one of these players, whether it be to any other team in the NFL. Do I think the Lions get Cooper Kupp? Absolutely not. Do I think the Detroit Lions get Aaron Donald? I don't. Just because I think he's going to cost a first-round pick. The Lions are not a team that's going to do that for me for a one-year deal because he's already contemplated retirement. He was injured. He's a little bit older. I know he's a phenomenal player, but it just doesn't seem like Brad Holmes' MO to go get a 1-year rental for a high draft pick, because Aaron Donald's going to command that type of capital to get him because he's still a phenomenal player. Quinnen Williams still out there. Will the Jets deal him? I think that would be ideal because he's still young at 25 years old. He's a very damn good player for the football team over there in the New York Jets, but who knows? I don't think they deal him because the Jets are a team that is trying to win a Super Bowl, and giving up one of your best players on defense just doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion. I think they'll try to go with it with Aaron Rodgers this year. We'll see if he actually comes back next year, but it just doesn't make sense that they would trade Quinnen Williams, in my opinion. Other players out there, I just don't think the Lions are going to do it. I think we're going to stay pat. I know I made a video today, the possibilities, those are the players out there, but if you look at Brad Holmes and what he does, you know what I'm saying? He is that type of guy for the Lions. Let's get some questions here. If you got questions, throw it in the comment section. We're going to have fun for an hour today. Getting it. We began and ended up our winning second half by beating Green Bay. Which win was most important? Was last year most important? I think the most important win was the Green Bay Packers, the final game of the year. Why is that? Because it's shown that this team does not quit, even though they didn't make the playoffs at that point. So I'm absolutely all about the idea of fighting to the bitter end, even if you're not making the playoffs. And they did that, and it shows that they'll never quit. So that was my most important game last year. Which player do you think will have a breakout season on the offense? I think a breakout season, it really depends how you look at it. You could go offensive line like Halapoulivaati Vaitai because he literally did not play last year. So for him to come out and play at a high level, I think would be absolutely breakout. But if you're wanting to look at stats, something that you can kind of see with your own eyes, how about Jahmyr Gibbs? I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a breakout season, even though he's a rookie. Seeing what Ben Johnson's doing with him already in training camp, in OTAs and minicamp, I do believe he's going to be a big part of the Lions offense and be a pain in the butt to other football teams in the pass game and the run game. I think he'll break out, and it's going to be really good to see. And a lot of people were upset that we traded back from 6 to 12 to get him. I don't think they're going to be too upset about that stuff anymore. Let's see. What do you think our record going to be this year? I have a record of 11 wins. I think that's obtainable for the Detroit Lions. Go from 9 to 11 makes sense. Could they get a little bit more? I do think they could. I still got 11 wins, and I want to be kind of conservative with that amount. You never know what could happen. Maybe they start off strong and it's a little bit more. Maybe they have a couple injuries and it's a little bit less. I think 11 should be ideal for the Lions this year. 2 game more than last year. 11, I think, wins you the NFC North. That is a successful season to win the NFC North. That's what I want to see. Regardless of wins or losses, they need to win the NFC. They need to host a playoff game. I feel like we are fringe Super Bowl contenders this year. Would Donald or anyone else make us top contenders? That's an interesting question. I like it. I think that Quinnen Williams or a Donald would throw you up there with Philadelphia Eagles to contend for a Super Bowl. I think it would. 100%. But it is a risk to go for an Aaron Donald because if you don't make it, you just gave up a high draft pick for him, and he'll probably be a 1-year rental. Quinnen Williams, I think, would be the better option because he's younger, and he would be on your team for 5 years. You do have to pay him a giant amount of money for salary, but I think they would definitely throw you up there with the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. I agree with you. We're the fringe one. #Lions, how many weeks do you determine it's time to put a Hendon Hooker on the field if Goff struggles? First off, I don't think Goff is going to struggle. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. He's going to do well for the Lions. But if he is healthy, I would say halfway through the season for a Hendon Hooker. I don't see that being the case, though. I really don't. I am fine with Jared Goff. I think he's the best option at quarterback this year for the Detroit Lions. It's better to have a veteran in there than it is to have a rookie, in my personal opinion. Hashtag FGB. What up, though? Love the stream. Happy I could still check it out. Love today. Today is a beautiful day outside. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'm glad I got to do it at 1 o'clock. I had that ability to do so. Kids wanted to hang out, get some work done, and not have a long night made a lot of sense. My wife and son leaving for Holland, Michigan today. Well, I am here, and I'm happy they're over in the west side where it's nice and sunny. Maybe they can go to the lake and enjoy the water. What are your stats prediction for Aiden Hutchinson? When I think of Aiden Hutchinson, I think he can get 15 sacks this year. I think that's obtainable. He has a lot of players around him now in the secondary that's just going to hold the quarterback, I think, in the pocket for a second more. And if you've seen last year, he was so close to have multiple sacks. He was just literally a half a second away. I think having those players in the secondary is going to make his job easier. I like to see it. I think 15 can get it done. He'll have more quarterback hurries. He'll be able to be a nice piece upon that defensive line. I think we realize that free agency has never works to get the top guy and destroy your cap as us working through the draft using our advantage. We have the fifth most in the NFL, 100%. I always say that. You build your team to the draft and you get compliments in free agency. That's the best way to go, in my opinion. What's going on, Chrome? So, yeah, I'm with you 100%. And they did that. It's not like they went nuts in free agency and blew all their money. They didn't do that. CJ Gardner-Johnson, not a lot of money. Cameron Sutton, okay. But other than that, if you look at Brad Holmes, he's not big into doing that. And this team has done well because of his draft. Hashtag Lions, if Goff stats doesn't match 22, but they make the playoffs, do you sign him to a long-term or trust Hendon Hooker? Tell me what type of stats you're talking about, Mr. 313. Tell me type of stats. If we win a playoff game, I'm definitely looking potentially to give him a contract extension, but I'd have to know what type of stats. Dr. Detroyer, 9 drinks. Holland is a nice town. Why aren't you joining? You come on down to Holland. What's going on, Broder? Welcome to the chat. If you got questions, put it in the comment section. That's what we're doing today. We're having fun, taking some Q&A about our Detroit Lions as we're about 3 weeks away from Lions training camp, getting it done. And I move into my house, my new house, August 9. So I'm real excited to report that to you guys. And once I get into the new house, and I'm glad that it's before the NFL season, everything will be much easier. I know it's been a little bit of hectic the past couple of weeks, but it will slow down and everything will be grand. Let's see, over and under on Goff's touchdowns of 30. I'm going to take the over there. I think he gets 33 touchdowns. I think that's obtainable for him. He's going to have an opportunity to have a better first half of the season than he did last year. And when you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you added it with David Montgomery, it's going to just open everything else up for him. You can go get those easy touchdowns, throw it to Laporta, throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, throw it to Jameson, Williams, Josh Reynolds, all these players to get those mad points. You're a stud. Keep pumping out great content. Always appreciate your opinions. Broder, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for getting that comment in there. Hashtag FGB with our defense secondary additions. Will it change our scheme? It could change the scheme and how they use some plays. I don't think it's going to ultimately change it all the way. But yeah, you'll see some players mixed up in there that you don't normally see. Maybe you'll see a like a 2-5, something like that, or you'll see more 4-3. I think it's all in there. Lions Rumble, what's going on, my man? He says, what are your expectations regarding the coaching staff? Who are you most likely losing after the season? Ben Johnson seems to be the guy who I would suggest will be lost after this season. Offensive coordinator will just simply wait for a nice job. He'll pops up and he will get it. That's who I got. I can't get off right now. I'm in the middle, possibly striking of a strike with UPS. That's no good. This is a great content creator. Keep making content, dude. Detroit Lions prods. Thank you so much. Basically, less 29 touchdowns, more than 7 receptions, but the team has done enough to make the playoffs. Do you trust him going forward to turn it into a hooker? It depends how this season goes. Like, y'all know that I don't want to extend him before this season starts. I'm more after the season. I like to wait and see approach and see what happens. Will Mike give us a combo breaker this stream? Well,
Combo breaker! Ultra combo! Combo breaker!
Y for yes and N for no. So you already know that Y for yes and N for no. I already gave it to you right there. So that's an absolute Y. Who was the most yards? Reynolds, Jones, or Raymond? I love this one. How about I'm going to go with Khalif Raymond with more yards. He had about 500 yards last year. Reynolds went down a little bit, and I'm not sure exactly how much Jones is going to be used. I think Khalif Raymond is the best right now of the three. Now, he doesn't have the height advantage, but he's good at the yak. He's good at getting open, and he's got fantastic hands. Let's see. Lions. Why can't the Lions just sign Ben Johnson long-term? Because he doesn't know if Goff or Ben Johnson is going to be making the offense work. They did sign him to a contract extension, but it's hard to get a head coaching job. There's only 32 of them. So when you have an opportunity to become a head coach, you get a significant pay grade. You're in command of your old team. Like, it's hard to pass up. Really, it really, really is. Unless you're a guy who just doesn't want to be a head coach. But it's really difficult to get one of those jobs. Maybe 7 or 8 open up a year. Possibly striking. Understand. So I don't know what's going on with UPS. Maybe they better keep their stuff straight, because my guy 9 Drinks is a G. What are your thoughts on Amon-Ra St. Brown's story? How he was supposed to be the worst brother, and now he's the best in the Lions currently. I don't understand why people don't watch really film and how players prep for games, because Amon-Ra St. Brown was really good in college, and he was known for being a player that preps a lot. I think you can't underestimate somebody's ability to practice and prep and their work ethic. Those are things that you have to look at as well, and clearly he had an amazing work ethic. He had an amazing ability to practice and get his game up. When you have something like that and an elite route runner with a great route tree, you're going to have a player like Amon-Ra St. Brown. So we see players like that come out of the NFL that are better than what you expect. Wes Welker, Golden Tate, players like that is not the biggest bodied frame, but come out there and kill it. Hashtag Martin going to be a stud this year. Broderick Martin, I don't know about stud. I think he'll be a rotational player. I'd like to see him ultimately be in there with Aleem McNeil, but he is a rookie. There is a lot of veterans on that defensive line. John Kaminsky, Joshua Pascal, and we love Isaiah Buggs. So I don't know if he's going to be an absolute stud. I think he'll get his time in there, and hopefully he can help stop the run. I think that's what we really need him next to Aleem McNeil, clog up the middle and do the best that they can do. Whoa, ton of questions came in. I think the Lions would regret letting Ben Johnson go before knowing we have a good replacement. Well, if he gets a job, it's not us letting it go. It's him accepting a job. 2 questions off topic. How well do you think the Jets will do with Aaron? I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they win their division. I really don't. You have a lot of good teams, Miami Dolphins, as well as the Buffalo Bills over there. I think they're probably the 3rd best team in the division. They'll still go to the playoffs as a wild card. What is your favorite all-time movie? Sports related. My sports related all-time favorite movie. There is quite a bit good sports movies out there. Man. Friday Night Lights is pretty good. I liked that one. Really fun to watch there. Blind Side, more of a family movie. It gets you feeling pretty good, seeing how tough somebody went through. Those are pretty good. How confident are you in the new look secondary click-in from week 1? I'm bullish, but a lot of new places who are versatile and expected the responsibilities of the field. I think they're going to be pretty good, and that's what we've seen in OTAs and minicamp. Jared Goff already said they're feisty. and they're giving him problems. So if you're giving Jared Goff and this offense problems, you should be pretty good week one. But again, you're going against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to get theirs, and people say, "Oh, they're getting wrecked." Well, Patrick Mahomes wrecks everybody. So I think they'll be really good quick. I don't think it's going to take a lot for them, like weeks 4, 5, 6, or 7 to start gelling. I think they'll gel pretty quickly. Let's see, got to go, but I'll be back. Great channel. GOAT of the Lions content creators. Thank you so much, Detroit Lions prods. I appreciate you. The Waterboy, that is absolutely an amazing movie. That is funny as can be, and I do like it. Oh, the Adam Sandler movie where he's the quarterback, Cruise. I freaking love that movie. It has Goldberg in there, Steve Austin in there. Nelly is the running back. That may be my favorite sports movie of all time. That's got to be my favorite. That is a funny movie. Let's see. Why do the Lions fans think we can trade anyone or sign anyone? Well, everybody wants the roster to be up, and Stoner 757, let's be honest, nothing's happening right now. So it's exciting if the Lions were to sign a player, and it's always exciting to trade for a player. So, of course, we want to hear that. But there will be some moves made when the 53-man roster is cut by all NFL teams. It may not be big moves, maybe players, that could fill the depth. So that'll be fun there. Is Tanner Ingstrom replacing Ben Johnson? Foregone conclusion, or are there any internal choices that could be considered? I think to me, is the foregone conclusion. I think he is. There could be something switch if it doesn't happen, but I think to me, he's like 95% chance. The Longest Yard. Yes, I love that movie. What is going on, Lisa De Lorenzo? Thank you so much, Join. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you bring to me as well. We Are Marshall. True story. That is a good movie as well. And you can't go wrong with the actor. High School Girls. All right. Yeah, I love that actor. I like Miracle. Brian Song's a great movie. We Are Marshall, the true story. Hopefully, We Are Lion will be made in a couple years when the Lions win a Super Bowl and they make a movie about Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. That would be fire. That would be epic. The best sports show, that would be Hard Knocks Detroit Lions. And the best YouTube would have to be Behind the Den. The Lions do. You could apply for ESPN. Well, they fired and laid off a lot of people. So if I applied, probably wouldn't get it because I don't know what's going on with ESPN, but boy, they laid off a lot of people. That program was pretty good. It was definitely really good. If you guys got questions, put hashtag Lions, hashtag Detroit, hashtag LNU, hashtag, hashtaggity, hashtag with more hashtags. That's all getting it done for sure. Or hashtag Bears, hashtag FCB, whatever you want to do in the comments below. I will definitely give you my thoughts in there. I would like the Detroit Lions to kind of stand pat right now for training camp with regards to the roster. I want to see what we already have. If they wanted to make a move, you got plenty of time to do it. There's no reason right now to do it right now. Just go in training camp, fight it out, see who surprises, see who does well, see who doesn't do well. You'll have options from there. I think they need another Longest Yards movie featuring Goff and some of the Lions players. Ryan Gosling can play Jared Goff in the movie. That'd be absolutely the perfect actor for him. That would be the guy I would go with for Jared Goff. I mean, they're literally twins. And then you can have Jared Goff in the movie as an extra just for a Easter egg. Easter egg. That would be really, really cool. The Natural with Robert Redford. For the Love of the Game. A lot of good movies out there. Had you mentioned the Cup situation at all? So you seen yesterday, and I made videos on it. A lot of articles came out. The Lions should go ahead and trade for Cooper Kupp. And here's the thing. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But if you do like NFL transactions, you have to keep an eye on the Rams now because it came out on Pro Football Talk, PFF, and many others, that the Rams tried trading Matthew Stafford to the Atlanta Falcons this offseason before his roster bonus. What does that mean to me? That means to me that the Rams potentially could go ahead and unload some players, and maybe they want to tank, right, for the draft pick. And so maybe they end up trading some of these players. I don't think it'd be to the Lions. Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. Look, the Lions, Brad Holmes love Aaron Donald. I'm sure he loves Cooper Kupp. But to get these players, it would just be an enormous amount of draft capital. It really would be. And I just don't see the Lions taking a first, a third, and a fifth or something to get Cooper Kupp. I don't see it because that's just a ton of draft capital. And I don't see the Lions giving up a first-round pick for Aaron Donald. It's just, for a one-year rental, it just seems way too much. What do you do if the Lions are rated as the number one secondary after week 6? Maybe shave your beard? Hey, I've been calling for 9 drinks. You know I have. I have been calling for it, and I think the Lions secondary could be rated like that in regards to stats. Now, will it be rated per PFF or ESPN or SportsCenter or NFL.com? I don't know about that, but I think they're a damn good secondary. They're a team that can take it to a very high level with the amount of turnovers they get. And let's admit it, turnovers win games. To me, turnovers is the number one stat. If the Lions secondary leads in turnovers in the NFL, I would call them the best secondary because that's how you win games. Look, you got Sauce Gardner, who's a lockdown number 1, all of that. But I prefer turnover machines. When we had Darius Slay, when we had him in there with Quandre Diggs turn the football over, is great. When you see Kirby Joseph, we win games with that. So that's my number one stat. That is my number one stat. Even if it's not a Kupp or Hopkins, are you interested in adding another wide receiver like Renfrow before the season starts? Personally, no, I'm not. I'm not wanting to add another wide receiver. I love the wide receiver core right now, unless, this is a caveat, there's an injury to one of our guys. That would be the difference. Say one of our guys is out for a significant amount of time, then I would change it. But I'm fine with the 1 through 6. I want to see what Green has for the Lions. I'm fine with it. You don't need to have a bunch of number 1s. But if we lose a Josh Reynolds or a Khalif Raymond or a Marvin Jones Jr. due to injury for a significant amount of time, then I'm looking at Hopkins, right? Then I would look at a Renfrow, mid-round pick. Then I'm looking for a player to get those stats that we need. I think the defense will get exposed this season, but our offense struggles a little bit. Why am I nervous? I don't know why you're nervous, Mr. 313. I think our defense will play significantly better. 16 in the NFL, I think mid-range. I think the Lions offense is going to be even better than last year. I don't think you really have to worry that much. Lions True Grit, my movie name suggestion. Will Green make the roster? Yeah, I do. I think he makes it as wide receiver 6. I think the cap space is too high for Cooper Kupp. I agree. And I think it would hurt the Lions in the long haul. I think we'd be fine this year, but you got to think about extensions to Jonah Jackson, St. Brown, Penei Sewell. You remember, you can't pay everybody. So to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pass on it. Who finishes last in the NFC North? I got the Lions, Vikings, Bears, Packers. I got the same Justin Wainwright. I got the exact same 1, 2, 3, 4. That's who I got. 100%. I'm with you. Would be way too much. I agree. Let's see. Cephas was okay before his injury, and then he went and did the betting stuff. Yeah, Cephas, I didn't have him making the roster before the betting stuff, and because his injury history, he's talented. He just could not stay healthy. The guy is really good in contested catches, and he's a physical guy, but he just couldn't stay healthy, and that kills him. And now his NFL career is over. I don't think we could afford Cooper Kupp. We can afford him. We cannot afford him. We could afford him this year, but not down the road if you wanted to sign our guys who we drafted. I prefer signing our own guys. That is my type of thing. Sign Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to end up getting a giant contract. Penei Sewell will end up getting a giant contract. They may, re-sign Jared Goff. So no reason to go trade for these guys right now and kind of hurt your team and be the New Orleans Saints. We have so many edge guys. How do you get them all the snaps? Yeah, we're going to have a lot of rotation. They're going to have a lot of rotation. And Joshua Pascal, Romeo, Charles Harris, You're going to have Houston coming in there, and there's going to be a ton of rotation, and that's good. You want to have rotation. I do believe Houston will get re-signed after this year. Charles Harris and Romeo Aquar will be let go in free agency. Why? Because they can just go ahead and draft their replacements. I don't think we need to add any more free agents or trade. Brad Holmes sticks to the plan unless there's an injury. Yep, I am 100% with Lisa, and I agree 100%. And we have the same mindset. Generally, we're pretty much the same. I've seen you throughout the years on my channel. We pretty much have the same mindset. Is Johnson's final year with the Lions? I do think it's his final year. I think he'll have another successful season, and there'll be 7-8 head coaching jobs available, and he'll go ahead and get one of those. Can anyone else see Angel over my shoulder? I can see something. Green might turn out to be like Brown did for Pittsburgh. He could be. And what's really good about Antoine Green is he doesn't have to jump in there right away. So they can put him in positions, snaps, specific plays for him to succeed. So he doesn't need to jump out there and be an immediate impact player from day one. They could go ahead and take him along slowly, and that will set him up for a good, bright future. How much do you think we will have to pay the Sun God? He's going to have to get paid, I'd say top 7 wide receiver, maybe even top 5 pay. When his time comes up, he's going to get paid as a top 5 wide receiver, as he should be. He should get that pay because he is, I don't care about size and all that type of stuff. He is a massive difference maker for the Lions offense. He's always open. He's physical. He's always healthy. He's Jared Goff's go-to. You got to throw him. You got to get him under contract. He deserves the pay. Maybe after the 10th drink, right? I think Ben Johnson leaves. Goff will be his gift from Brad Holmes. He could leave, and I think the Lions offense will be still good. That's how you groom your guys. We have a Facebook question. Love it, from Tina Marie Passarelli. What is your opinion on how many games the Lions will win? Well, thank you so much from Facebook there. I'm going to give it 11 wins. Tina, I think that is a legit win count for the Detroit Lions. They had 9 last year. 11 is a jump. I think that's what they do. If Emmanuel Moseley isn't 100% healthy to start the season, who do you think are the next cornerbacks to step up alongside Sutton and Jacobs? Well, that is a good question there. I think you're going to have C.J. Gardner-Johnson in there. I think he will play the slot. Then you can have Cameron Sutton and Jerry Jacobs on the side. I think that makes a lot of sense there. But I think Emmanuel Moseley's good to go. He's already good to go. He said he's going to go good to go for training camp unless there's a setback. $16 million a year for Amon-Ra. I think 16.5 is good. I wouldn't mind him getting 17. I think that's the type of player he deserves it. Do you agree Stenberg will be cut 100%? Stenberg's time in Detroit is gone, Big Wes. He is gone. Unless there's an injury, he's not going to be a Detroit Lion. Do you think Kabinda is on the bubble? I think he's on the bubble, and I think it's between him, Mo Ibrahim to make the roster, and Jamar Jefferson. I think Kabinda gets cut because we do got tight ends. We do got running backs. I know Dan Campbell absolutely loves the guy. I think he's gone. I can still believe no one has signed Kenny Galladay yet. Wait till midway through training camp. He's probably waiting for injuries. He'll get signed before week 1. Some of these guys, they wait for injuries. They don't want to go through training camp and all of that stuff, and that's what they do. Always have Brian Branch 100%. You can throw him at safety, and you can move C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We have so much depth in the secondary that we're good. I think you should travel with Eric, and it's too easy to one away game this year. I will probably be at Soaring Eagle Casino. There's a really good chance that I'll be with away games. I would love to go to another place to play. Now, I can tell you there's a significant other that I have that is a Bears fan. That individual would probably love to go to Soldier Field. So we'll see. #Lions. Do you think the Lions will bring back the black uniforms. Yesterday, uploaded a picture with their helmet in all black. In the background of CBS Sports, a fan-made black helmet. They could bring them black unis back next year. They could. I don't know if they will. They very well could. I know a lot of fans like them. It's very possible they could do that. What's going on, Shane Metcalf? Welcome to the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I have no idea how many likes are in the stream right now. Go ahead and smash that like button. We'll get it there for you. Tina from Facebook, if the Lions lead quarterback Goff goes down in the middle of the season, do you think our new quarterback Hooker will play? Yes, 100%. If Jared Goff goes down halfway through the season, Hendon Hooker will be the guy to come in. He is better than Nate Sudfeld. It's not even if, ands, or buts. By that time, he'll know the playbook just enough. He is a very smart guy. He picks up things very fast. He will be ready if that was the case. We don't want that to happen because I don't think he's be as good as Jared Goff this year because he is a rookie and Jared Goff's a veteran, but he would be ready if need be. Are you going to be at 1 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday until cheerleading is all done? Potentially. I got to get my daughter's schedule. As you all know, she is a cheerleader, but she does Friday Night Lights. She is a senior at her school, and she's the captain. So on Fridays, I don't stream anyways, so we're good there. But once she starts doing competitions, as you know, it's sporadic throughout the week, and I do change the schedule because that is why I'm doing this. You know, I left my job to work full-time with Herm to be able to make a schedule so I can see my daughter do her cheer events. They deleted the post on their Facebook. Agree, Hooker. Keeping our money to sign our guys seems like a good idea. Are any of them likely to accept team-friendly deals? I don't think so. I'm going to be 100%. Look, and I don't think the players that we did get, like Penei Sewell, St. Brown, whom we drafted, Aiden Hutchinson, when they eventually get their deals, I don't necessarily want them to get friendly deals. I appreciate what they bring. They're amazing. I want them to get paid. And as the cap goes up, I have no problem with them getting paid. If they want to be nice and do that, more power to them. But they should get paid the way they play. And if you play great, get paid great. Do you know the Lions are playing preseason? The Giants? We're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in preseason. And I don't know the other team, but those who we're playing. Because they're going to be doing co-op practice in Detroit. So it's going to be epic. Get to watch other teams. Can I ever get to meet you in person? Yes, Tina, you can meet me at person. I will be at training camp this year for a week. It's going to be a really fun time. So if you like to meet me, come on, do that. We can go ahead and have a good time. I will be there for training camp. As soon as I get those dates to you, I'll let you guys know as well. And I'll probably be at a couple games this year with Herm doing our thing. Let's see. Hashtag FGB and F the Bears. You already know it. We don't need any penny pinching. We don't. Yeah, I'm with you. Hashtag Wes. Let's see. Lions. What up, though? Curtis Steele, Lions beat writer. My good friend there, Kurt Steele over there, does great work. I'm so proud of my man becoming a beat writer, got his master's degree, and he is just phenomenal. Make sure you go ahead and check his YouTube channel out, Kurt Steele. He's doing Lions content there. Check out his articles. Go out and throw it in the comment section. I love the content you bring, and I like how Ant-Man shows his love for the Lions overseas. Just nice to see our fan base spread around the world. Isn't it awesome? Thank you so much. Panthers for the third preseason game, and we faced them in the regular season game. So I'm going to tell you that game, the Lions are showing absolutely nothing. What's the point of co-op joint practice? I thought the team didn't want to expose their playbook. What the point is you get to go against players that is not your own players, and you're going against teams that are playoff contenders. So if you're fighting these teams pretty well in practice and you're beating them, it's like, okay, you can kind of see where your guys stack against playoff contenders teams. I think guys like Jerry Jacobs will take team-friendly deal, not saying he won't get paid, but I don't think it'll be Jesse Bates. I agree, 100%. Jesse Bates got a massive deal. I don't know if he'll get that. I'll be at the Buccaneers and Lions game here in Florida. That will be awesome for you. Fantastic that you'll be in Florida enjoying the nice weather. I love Florida, by the way. And I'll be going on vacation to Florida or Puerto Rico in January. So FYI. The third preseason game is Carolina. Yard Barker and sideline report. My man, Curtis Steele, getting it done. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Ant-Man is great. Ant-Man is amazing. I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man is the GOAT. Do you hope Aaron Rodgers sucks and gets booed by the Jets fans? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Y'all already know. That's what I would love to see. The drama in New York. Can our rookie running back lead the league in touchdowns? I don't think he's going to lead the league in touchdowns. No. David Montgomery is going to get a lot of those yards as well. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown for wide receiver is going to get a ton of yards. I don't think he leads the league in touchdowns. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We got so many weapons on this offense. It's hard to lead leagues in offensive categories when you have so many weapons and Jared Goff spreads them around. It's not like he just goes to one guy like Matthew Stafford did with Calvin Johnson or Cooper Kupp. He spreads it to everybody. You'll see games where he's 9 people he's throwing the football to. So it's really difficult to get mass amount of yards or a mass amount of touchdowns like we did with Jamal Williams last year, and which is rare because we had a lot of goal line stands. I'll be in the Tampa-Detroit game as well. Awesome. Maybe the guys can meet up. If the Lions doesn't beat the Panthers with the rookie quarterback, do we start questioning Goff if the defense shows the game? No, it doesn't mean that it's all. Just because if we lose a game, any game, say the Panthers game, you can't just blame it on one person. Literally, like the Panthers game last year, the defense sucked, the offense sucked, the wide receivers sucked, the offensive line sucked. Sometimes your team, a good team, will suck. The Chiefs will have a game where they absolutely suck, yet they won the Super Bowl. The Eagles will play a game, they suck, yet they were in the Super Bowl. It happens to every single team. It just bounds to happen. You know, everybody has those days, right? Everybody has a day, and good teams will play way better than bad teams will play way better than you expect, and good teams will play a lot worse than you expect. It just happens. It's the NFL. Not for long, and it is in a parity league. What is your opinion on the Lions beating the Kansas City Chiefs? Tina, I believe the Lions will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I have 32-28. I think the Lions have a lot of tricks in the bag, and it's going to ruffle the feathers a little bit. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's going to be all over the place in that game. And you best believe Dan Campbell's going to be going for it on 4th down. He's going to do trick plays. He's going to try to keep the offense on the field to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. And I think you're going to have players like C.J. Gardner and Kirby Joseph get some turnovers. No, this is a team sport. Can't blame Goff for team losing. 100%. 100%. Hashtag F to Bears. Who scores our first touchdown in Kansas City? I'm thinking Gibbs, take it to the house. I'm going to go with David Montgomery. Gets the first touchdown for the Detroit Lions. I think you'll see a lot of running in that game too, and I think David Montgomery is going to get in there and get a touchdown. When is Detroit and Tampa game? I don't know the exact week. People who got the tickets, throw it in the comment section for my man 9 Drinks in there, because I don't have the exact week on hand. That's going to be a fun game. Lions should beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers handedly. You would think that would be. When I look at the roster up and down, Lions roster much better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. I'll take Jared Goff over Baker Mayfield 10 out of 10 times. I'll take the Lions running game right now 10 out of 10 times. Now, their wide receivers are pretty good, but they have been banged up throughout their tenure. I think the Lions are a better team. They got a good defense, though. Still, the Lions will get it done. It's week 6. There you go. Week 6, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It'll be nice and warm over there in Tampa, I'm sure. What that will be October, mid-October. So it'll still be warm over there in Tampa. Hashtag both you and Marco are my favorites. Also, Herman Moore and the Lions all-time greats. Yes, thank you so much, Gary, first off, for saying that. I really appreciate you. Herm's going to be back on here soon. We're just kind of waiting for training camp and all of that lovely stuff. So I appreciate you. He'll be on here talking Lions football. Just had the conversation the other day. 10 out of 10. Oh, so October 15 for the Buccaneers game. There you go, mid-October. I'll pay $500 to whoop Baker Mayfield's A for us not making the playoffs. Oh, that would be dreadful. When he did that last year to us, don't do it again to this year. Hashtag FJB. What are the flex possibilities for Week 17 game versus Denver? I'm thinking of buying tickets, but afraid to get flexed to a Saturday. I doubt it. You know, a lot of people are still kind of hyping and thinking that the Denver Broncos are going to be really good. I honestly don't see that. They're in a really tough division. I think Raiders could beat them. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are a better football team. And you look at the Chargers, I think that they're going to be better. So the odds are, I would put it at 20%. 20%. Basically, all the teams are very familiar with each other. So if you practice with other teams, the Lions go to the basics. Yeah, and it's a good way to kind of go against other teams and see how the competition is. I love Curtis and Ant-Man. Always great to see the Lions fans, good people succeed. Yeah, man, Curtis Steele, he's a success. I love seeing it, and it's amazing. Ant-Man, a phenomenal creator. The guy is very smart. Gets a lot of things right. Hashtag Lions. Shout out to Detroit Lions on the Prowl with their final show last night. I heard about that. Kurt, shout out to Lions on the Prowl. Terrible that they're going away. And unfortunately, I wasn't there for it. Doing a lot of moving parts going on. I have barely been on YouTube when I'm not making videos because of the house, because of everything. So shout out to Lions on the Prowl. It stinks that we don't get to hear them anymore. I hope that I can meet you in the Buccaneers game. I don't know if I'll be at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, but if I'm not, I'll be live streaming for sure. Lions, which would you like to see the Lions trade or sign? Defensive tackle or a defensive end? I would like to go defensive tackle just for a rotation. I'm not saying a big name, by the way. I'm not saying to go out there or anything like that. Just for a rotational period. My feeling is Levi Onwuzurike is not going to be on the 53, that they end up releasing him. So give him a week. If he still ain't progressed after a week, go ahead and get somebody else. Hashtag FGB, actually. Hashtag Ant-Man 6'5". Yeah, he is. He's a tall guy. Must have overlooked the Tampa Bay game, 3 hours north of me. Yeah, you better take a look at it, 9 drinks. Better take a look at it. Got to get those games for sure. Ooh, try not to burp here. Hashtag Lions if you want your questions answered. Hashtag LNU if you want to ask me anything and everything about our beloved Detroit Lions. Put it in the comments section and we will get that thing flowing for you. 100%. What is a game that you're most likely looking forward to? Mine would be the Kansas City Chiefs, Week 1. How can you not? Thursday night opening the NFL season. It's going to be freaking absolutely nuts. I guarantee you I'll be with Herman Moore and Chrissy on that game. It's going to be amazing. Amazing out there. Don't worry, to somebody who has missed my live stream. All I got to say, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not going to name the person. You already know. Lions, they're going to beat Chicago. They're going to beat Chicago. Just putting it out there. Maybe we go to a Lions-Chicago game at Soldier Field, and I could be outnumbered. Miss you bunches. Hashtag Lions. Do either of the Akwara brothers make the team, or do we trade one or both of them? Julian Akwara, I do not have him make the team. I think he doesn't. Romeo will make the football team. He's a veteran edge rusher. I think he's going to be in the rotation quite a bit, maybe even a little bit more than Charles Harris. He makes the team because he actually did produce when he was healthy last year at the end of the season. He's a full health go now. His salary is extremely low. He will be on the 53-man roster. I think we keep 4 defensive tackles, Aleem, Buggs, Martin, and Covington. Covington, yeah, we'll see how he does. There's some people that think he won't, some people that think he will. I think he potentially could. I have the over on that for sure. Let's see, Mike, can't you just come down with Riz and stay with Chris? Right, yeah, Riz is right down the road for me. Chris over there in Florida. That would be fun. That'd be fun. Chris, lovely over there in Florida, hanging out, man. You would have a Lions creators, beat writers all over the place. Can we take all the moment to appreciate prison justice on Larry Nasser? I don't know what happened. I must not have been in the loop, Dale. Don't know. I don't know. I have barely been on any TV. It's just been extremely busy with work and moving and stuff. Hashtag remember defensive line is healthy. I feel we are great shape barring injuries. Covington potential pace. If the defensive line's healthy, it's great. We're really good. Look, when I say we need to get another rotational player, it doesn't mean like it's anything bad upon the defensive line. It's just my feel of Levi is not that good. Hashtag Lions, who will be our kick and punt returner? I'm going to say Khalif Raymond. He'll be the kick and punt returner. Odds-on favorite. He got us a touchdown last year. He should have been the Pro Bowl. Khalif Raymond should be the guy. And with where he plays for offense is like our number 3/4 wide receiver, it makes a lot of sense. Nasser got shanked. Okay. Just found, I'm going to have to read upon that here in about 9 minutes because I had no idea. I just have not been in the loop with cable. Vegas Super Bowl this year is going to be wild. I would love to go to that too. Herm, if we make the Super Bowl, letting you know, man, we going, man. We going to the Super Bowl. No doubt about it. Hashtag Lions. Will Gibbs be starting running back at some point? I don't know what you really consider starting. I think he's going to be playing a lot of wide receiver out there. So just because he doesn't get the most snaps at running back doesn't mean he's not a starter. He's going to be playing wide receiver and running back. I think David Montgomery will get more of the running back snaps, but how many snaps will Jahmyr Gibbs get on offense? Probably 30 out of 60, I'm going to assume, 50%. How many yards? And yes, Gibbs for this year. Rushing yards for Gibbs, I'll go with 675. I'll go 600 passing, 7 touchdowns. Oh, he ain't dead. Okay. Oh, he just got shanked. He just got cut. Okay. Hashtag Lions. Does Houston become a permanent starter? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch this in training camp because I would like to see him as a starter. He was only getting, 15, 18 snaps last year. I'd like to see him jump to at least a little over 30. That is going to be something I'm watching in training camp. I don't know with that one right now. I'm going to do an I don't know until about a week after training camp. Then I'll give you an idea of how they're utilizing him. I'm not going to tell you scheme or what they're going to do scheme-wise, but I'll tell you, what type of snaps he's getting and other players as well. That's why it's important to be at training camp to see it with my own eyes so I can give you a hands-on look of what's taking place. How many touchdowns and yards for Gibbs? I gave you that answer there. Yeah, that would be awesome if he does. If the Lions make the Super Bowl, can Gibbs grab Rookie of the Year over Bijan? Yes, he could. And I think Bijan's going to be used a lot for the Falcons, but I think so is Jahmyr Gibbs. It is possible for him to do it. It is possible. So don't think it's not possible. Right now, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is number 3 on the list for possible offensive rookie of the year. Don't quote me on that. It's between 3 and 5. It is possible. Montgomery, Gibbs could both be on the field at the same time, and they will be on the field. You're 100% right. They will be on the field at the same time on snaps because of Gibbs, what he can do all over the offense. Hashtag no lines linebackers are PFF's top 25. Please choose 2, which will likely become dominant. This year, I don't think Jack Campbell's going to be a top 25 linebacker this year. Down the road, absolutely. I think he's a stud. I think he'll get better each game. He'll become an absolute stud for sure years down the road. I think it'd be difficult for him to do it this year. Alex Anzalone was playing really damn good the second half of the season last year. If Alex Anzalone does that this year, starts week 1, he should be in that mix. I know that sounds crazy, but he had a tale of two halves last year. First half was Second half, Alex was playing damn good. So it just depends how he starts off. And I don't know. How many Pro Bowl players for the Lions? I'll go with 4 Pro Bowl players. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, Khalif Raymond as kick returner. That's who I got. I'll go with 4. They're the 4 Pro Bowlers the Detroit Lions have in 2023. Alternate, Jack Fox. He'll be an alternate. Aiden Hutchinson will be an alternate. That's what I got. Hashtag Lions. I don't trust Alex because he knew he was going to get cut if he didn't show up. He's paid now. Let's see. Hey, I feel you. Like, he's an unknown right now. Like, he played like 2 different players last year. He really did. Now, I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to take off plays. He's not that type of guy. I think he's got the moral backing and he's got that work ethic. But we'll see how he does. I don't know. It's literally 50-50 on this one. Gibbs seems to be all about business so far. Hopefully that translates to the beast mode on the field. Yeah, he does. He is all business, and I think it probably gets under his skin that a lot of people dogged the Lions for taking him at 12 and dogged him. Don't underestimate that. People's ability to prove people wrong. Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had that shtick on his shoulder. He had a chip on his shoulder, and he still does. And I have no problem with Jahmyr Gibbs having something like that on his shoulder because a lot of people crapped on him, and they really shouldn't have. Hashtag Holmes is doing an awesome job to have many interchangeable pieces in so many spots. To start's not an issue. Holmes has just done a phenomenal job. Best general manager we've ever had. The guy knows how to draft, and he could care less what I think, what the media thinks, and what Mel Kipers think. And that's good. That's what you want. You want the GM to do what he believes is going to make this roster better. Now, we can say, well, this is what I think they're going to do. Look, I thought the Lions were going to get a running back early last year. I thought it'd be Bijan Robinson. They got Jahmyr Gibbs. I wanted the Lions to get Jack Campbell. I thought they would get a linebacker in round 2. They got Jack Campbell at 18. I said they were going to draft Hendon Hooker. I knew they were going to draft Hendon Hooker. They drafted Hendon Hooker. So you can kind of see the way that our GM is going, but at the same time, he get the players when he wants to get them, not when we want to get them. He got Jack Campbell in 18 instead of, in the 30s. And I'm fine with it. I love Jack Campbell. I did back when I seen Jack Campbell was drafted at pick 18, I went nuts. I love Jack Campbell. Hashtag Lines, we talk about wide receiver, but what about Tom Kennedy? I think he should fill in for J-Mo. I think he's going to go to the practice squad. He's more of a Amon-Ra St. Brown fill-in. He's more of a Khalif Raymond fill-in. I think for Jameson Williams, that's more of Marvin Jones Jr. and Antoine Green right there. I see Gibbs getting the most yards from scrimmage this year all over the Lions. Montgomery gets the most touchdowns. Is that right? I see that. Yeah, I'm with you. Dr. Detroit in the building, man. Love Dr. D. I cannot wait to hang out with you at training camp. Dr. D, you're not just going to come in for 1 minute. We are going to hang out. Maybe get some lunch. Want to hang out with my good friend, Dr. Detroit. Love the guy. Just a really nice dude. Become a good friend of me. Introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. D. I need to do that. Hang out for a few. I know you're a hardworking guy. I know what you do for your job, and it's high end. I know, but I still love to hang out with you, man. Folks, we've been on for an hour, and I got to get going. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate everybody being awesome, getting ready for the Lions football. That's taking place here in 3 weeks of training camp. It's going to be epic. See y'all next time.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.